Awesome. I love the big eyes. Yes.
Ow!
You look like a meme. There it is. Welcome everybody to the GGG podcast. I am Paul and I am joined by Phil. How's it going, Phil?
It's going well. After the Thanksgiving holiday and all the trials and tribulations therein related to that day, I've gotten some time to play some games, which has been pretty nice.
Wow, very, very eloquently put.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, it was like almost a soliloquy.
The real life version is I was stuck in traffic for 11 hours on the day before Thanksgiving, and it was the worst.
I see. Okay.
I played some phone games while I was in the car, which is
but
should I be admitting to that?
Are phone games like really phone games? I mean, excuse me, Jesus Christ. Are phone games actually games? I don't know. They're like arcade
That should be.
games.
We need to have like a full discussion because I've been playing Vampire Survivors, and that game is fully a game. Mm-hmm. Have you played Vampire Survivors yet?
I have not. I have a couple of my friends are playing it right now, actually. So in my absence,
your spirit is playing it through them. But been a busy week. How was your holiday?
It was pretty good. I did Thanksgiving here and made Thanksgiving dinner. It was very tasty. I think definitely some things I could have done better with the dinner, but the turkey was great. And that's the key is as long as the turkey is good, that's the hardest thing. And I did the hardest thing well. So I was very proud about that. But
that's important.
Yeah, but I've been kind of starved because I haven't had access to my my PC, my desktop PC. So I've just had my laptop. Right now, I am recording on my girlfriend's computer, and I apologize for the audio degrading quality because I'm using my PlayStation headset to record this podcast this week instead of my fancy super mic.
But imagine the endorsement money we can get from Sony now.
Yes, yes, of course. Please call us on the number on your screen. So
I guess in the absence of that, have you had time to play anything else, like your PlayStation?
Oh yeah, definitely been on my PlayStation quite a bit more than I am usually, and I've been playing a lot of things. Just kind of jumping all over. I finished Spider-Man, platinumed it, and so since I did that, I've been I don't know that I need to play more of this right now. Maybe I'll go back, when the DLC comes out or something like that. But you platinum a game, you're like, I need to take a break. So I haven't really been playing that. I picked up Assassin's Creed Mirage on the Black Friday sale because it was
nice.
$10 off. So I've been playing a good chunk of that, and I have to say, I don't really like it.
I played a solid 30 hours. Not for me.
I mean, no, I've been. It's one of those games that you buy and then you play for a couple hours and you're kind of like, I don't know, and then but you keep playing it because you just spent money on it, so you're like, I better because I spent the money on it. I should play this. And
they should put that on the box review. Paul Bugallo, I spent the money, so I better.
That's perfect. That's a great way to describe Assassin's Creed Mirage. And I've put 20 hours into it now, and I still I'm like I don't know.
I'm similar to where I kind of play it in spurts, but anytime I have to sit through a story bit, I'm like, you guys gotta know I don't care, right? Don't make me walk around and point at stuff. I don't want to do it. I just want to stab people.
Yeah, it's super true because I'm someone who likes to really try and give a game my full attention. And like, I know it's real easy now to just pick up your phone and start scrolling and like get distracted with something. And like, I every time there was a cutscene in this game, I'm just like, oh my god. First of all, they're not good cutscenes. So, and then like you don't care what they're talking about, and nobody
Yeah.
else seems to care, and you don't really know what's going on, and so it's just like whatever. I don't. We're in Baghdad. That's the
Yeah.
story. Like,
I have a wrist knife, and I feel like I'm gonna care when it gets to like the Izu, like those who came before stuff at the end of it. But that's at to the last like probably sixth out of 6/8 of the game, or 2/8. I don't know. I've been playing a bunch of. So I finished Baldur's Gate.
okay,
That was not a slog,
what
but
a
like
what a feat. That's amazing.
yeah, I'm
Congratulations.
excited. I'm excited to go back in. I'm gonna wait for the crossplay so I can play it with people on PS4. What else? I've been playing a couple. I played Roller Drome because that just launched, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But that's
Mhm.
came to Game Pass. It's a
Right on.
fun like Jet Set Radio meets John Wick game. Um, I played a tiny bit of what is it? Wild Hearts, which is like a Monster Hunter like made by EA.
Yeah, I've seen a lot about that game actually. How
Yeah.
are you enjoying that?
It's like Monster Hunter. It's pretty tight, like the gameplay. It's just I don't know. I know it's not Monster Hunter, so I just don't want to like. I don't care that much. But I maybe if I play it with some people, I will. So if you have Game Pass, hop on there with me and we could kill something together. I don't know,
Absolutely.
but lots of stuff, and
Right
just
on.
sort of like dabbling in all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been jumping around. Like I played Sifu this week. I played
Great game,
NBA 2K. I started a God of War Ragnarok new game plus.
very nice.
Which interestingly enough, I pay attention during those cutscenes and I've seen them before.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
weird when you care.
It's weird like when they're good and you're like, oh, this
Hmm.
is interesting. So
I care about these people.
yeah.
Um, sick,
Uh,
sick. Yeah, no, it's you know, I've something's got to tide me over until Avatar comes out next week.
yeah, I think Avatar's in the news this week. So
Is it?
let's
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah.
let's get going. Okay, so this is so actually let's just do the Avatar news first.
Okay.
So Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. They did an interview recently and they were asked about any connections to the next Avatar movie. And
Hmm.
they have explicitly revealed that yes, there will be specific things that we know about Avatar 3 that have been disclosed to us that we have put specifically in the game. And you won't know what those things are until Avatar 3 comes out, but
I see.
they will be things like little Easter eggs scattered throughout the game. So like I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm again like I think I'm not really I'm really into the Avatar universe. This is Avatar,
Hmm.
James Cameron's Avatar, not The Last Airbender, which is of course an
The
amazing
worst of
universe.
the two avatars we're
Yes.
talking about here.
Um, so yeah, but I thought that was cool. Very interesting. I think it's great publicity for the game. So
So there's an interesting thing that James Cameron said in his next Avatar movie that there's going to be like they've shown the Navi in a relatively positive light in all of the things, but apparently he wants there to be bad Navi, and they are going to be like fire Navi. So it's weird because this Avatar show is sort of or movie is kind of mirroring Avatar: The Last Airbender because you have the people tied to different like in Avatar 2 it was all about the water Navi, and then in Avatar 3 it'll be about the fire Navi and they're evil or whatever.
right.
I hope it's the fire Navi because that sounds like something out of a video game. Like it's got that that level of like, yeah, we reskinned the blue guys to be black and red. Fight them.
I hope it's not that simple. or if they're just like the water Navi, they're good at swimming, and the fire Navi, they live in volcanoes.
Mm,
They'd be like,
mm. That's
why? Why do they live in volcanoes? Does that make sense that they live in volcanoes? So,
or did you just run out of ideas,
did
James?
did you just go? Well, it needs to be somewhere that's hot. So,
Listen, I said I was making 6 of these, and I ran out of ideas midway through the first one.
all
Uh,
right. Well, speaking of being out of ideas,
mhm.
Amazon, as people have heard about, I think this was announced 2 years ago, ish, maybe longer, that Amazon's going to be doing a Fallout series, and we've got some first images coming out of post production, and the images look pretty solid. Um, I know a lot of people are excited for yeah, there's a lot of Fallout fans out there. What do you think, Phil? Are you excited? I know this is kind of video game adjacent news.
Yeah, no, no, no. I
Um,
I love Fallout, and I looked at these images earlier today. Okay. I love Fallout 3. I love Fallout 4. I love New Vegas. What's the 76? I haven't played that much of, but big Fallout guy. Really enjoy it. It looks too. Okay, I'm trying to think of the right way to put this. You know how the Mortal Kombat movie, the first one, like the costumes were right out of the
yeah,
the game.
it looks like they're cosplaying.
It looks like they're cosplaying. Yeah.
That's yeah, I complete 100% agree. I was like, all of these outfits are way too perfect.
Hmm.
They're not comic book characters. It's like I one of the things that I really liked about like Marvel is like I don't know. They brought things into realism. Like when they did the first Iron Man movie, they didn't say let's have him be the brightest red and the brightest yellow, and
Hmm.
he'll just look like he screwed some nuts and bolts together. They're like, no, how can we like try to
Make
make
this make sense.
yeah, try to make it
Yeah.
make sense. Try to make it look realistic, even though it's not realistic, and we know that. But you're trying, and with yeah, the
The
costumes.
suspension of disbelief is like thinner versus this one where it's just like they've got the full arm thing, everything's bright blue and yellow. Don't worry about they show a ghoul in one of the images who's one of
Mhm.
the characters, and it's a weird complaint because like he just like it looked like he had a very impressive prosthesis. Kind of looks like the Red Skull actually.
Yeah,
Um, but I was like, damn, that guy just looks handsome. Like he's just a handsome dude with no nose and like red skin.
yeah. So he's not ugly enough, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he's not ugly enough.
yeah.
I'm nitpicking. I love Fallout. That's the
No,
problem.
I mean, look, all we have to go by are these images that they released. So this is exactly the kind of conversation that Amazon wants us to have, I think.
True.
Um,
Yeah.
so like it does kind of remind me of the Lord of the Rings show a little bit, where it
Mm,
does feel cosplay-y. Um, things don't feel lived in.
mm,
Um, and that's weird because Fallout's like it's a very dirty, dusty, brown gray environment. Things are
yeah.
very lived in.
Hmm.
And this show looks like it's
Looks
almost
pristine.
yeah, it looks like it's almost like an Apple TV show where it's like for whatever reason Apple TV shows are just so shiny.
Yeah.
They're like looking at an iPhone commercial. And they're so all of them are so bright and so shiny and yeah, I
No one's made this point to me before, but it is
it's true.
upsetting how true it
It's
is.
it's so true. It's so true. Find me a not shiny Apple TV show. You cannot.
I cannot.
Like maybe
Um,
maybe C is not that shiny.
yeah, yeah, but that's the part of the visuals of it.
Yeah.
The I mean, I hope the show's good. Amazon surprisingly has kind of I feel like wheeled out some bangers. I enjoyed the Lord of the Rings show, but I was like, okay, it's a separate thing, its own thing, whatever. And I just enjoyed getting some more Lord of the Rings Tolkien-esque stuff.
Sure.
But The Boys, you have Invincible, they did Fleabag. They have like kind of this impressive list of stuff that they've made.
Hmm.
So hopefully the show is good. I just don't really. I mean, I feel like Fallout as a universe is rife with stories to tell. I just hope they tell a good one because I could see it very easily going bad.
Yeah. It's very true. I wonder what angle they'll run with it. So time will only tell.
Yeah.
All right, let's move right along. So, Red Dead Online has recently had a player population resurgence over
Hmm.
this Thanksgiving, and I think they got up to 22,000 players were back online, which is quite a bit.
Yeah.
I might be misremembering that number.
No, no, I think that is right. I
Okay.
remember seeing like it was a pretty immense. Allegedly, it was due to like Thanksgiving Day sales.
Sure, I'm
Um,
sure it was very cheap.
oh
Um,
wait, it says over
70,
77,000 players.
that's what I was thinking. Okay, 77. So that's way bigger than 22. So yeah,
That's nuts.
that's a lot. Excuse me, that's a lot of people. Um, I have played Red Dead Online on PC through Steam. I had a lot of fun with it, but I also had a hell of a time with it because it is so riddled with hackers.
Yeah.
Um, and I think I've expressed to you before, it's kind of like playing with Greek gods because some of the hackers are nice. There are nice
Hmm.
hackers out there, and they will give you free stuff. But other hackers, will just keep blowing you up.
It
Protect.
is of the gods' whims whether or not they are capricious or benevolent.
Yeah. So like I had to, for anger's sake, I had to let that go. So I wonder how
It's
those 77,000 people are enjoying the hackers.
Red Dead Online was tough enough when you just were playing against people who were like over leveled compared to you. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, you know what?
What?
No, everything's good. Sorry, I was just looking at the agenda and I got confused, but we're fine. Everything's good.
All right. Well, then let's go to the next item on the agenda, Phil. What you got?
Oh, okay. So the Game Awards hires more security. I think we can all remember that brave, heroic young man and his reformed Jewish rabbi, which I don't know why you need to say both, Bill Clinton, when they interrupted the Game of the Year award at the last Game of the Game Awards. But apparently they're hiring more security. Thank goodness.
Yeah,
Very important to keep
absolutely.
people off the stage. I mean, after what was it, Summer of Games, or there was a show, maybe it was a European show, but someone ran up and was like, "Show us GTA 6."
Yeah. It's happened one too many times. People are being
Hmm.
disrespectful, and I think like the video game industry is getting bigger and bigger. The game awards are
Hmm.
getting bigger and bigger. We talked about on some earlier shows that like E3 is gone, and so the game awards is now kind of a place where you roll out a bunch of trailers.
Yeah.
And so it's a bigger stage now. They have more, because they're just not competing against that juggernaut that was E3. So it makes sense
Hmm.
that they're gonna have more security. Good for Mr. Keeley. Right on,
Hmm.
Mr. Keeley. Um,
You
so yeah,
just, as soon as anyone stands up, like that's not receiving an award, you just see like sniper lights come up on them. Like, I'm just going to the bathroom. I'm just going to piss. We're
I
fine.
think that'd be great. Or if like we can
Yes.
have some sniper paintballers, I think that'd be awesome. That'd be so fun.
And it'd be a way for Siphon Filter to come back. Does anyone remember? Do you remember that deep cut PlayStation 1 game?
Maybe it sounds familiar, but I can't say that I really know what you're talking about.
It was like Splinter Cell before Splinter Cell. It was a PlayStation 1 like stealth spy game. And I remember one of my uncles was like, "Dude, you got to check this out." When I was just a wee lad, um,
Just a wee lad.
and that's one of the things that everybody's like, "Are they going to sneakily announce the Siphon Filter release date?" And Sony never does, but one day,
Sons of
one day,
bitches.
yeah.
All right. Moving right along in the news. Oh, this is for you. Take this one, Phil. This is your thing.
This is my wheelhouse. So
Hmm.
today there was a sort of announcement live event, like games tend to do now, or like big companies tend to do, where they release like a whole little presser about their game as if they were on E3 stage, but they just do it online because it's easier and more controlled. Dragon Dogma 2 has been announced to release in March, the 22nd, I believe. So it just kind of crowds up March a little bit more than it already was.
February's
I'm
getting
kind of
crowded
waiting.
too, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like that sort of what was a dead time has now become so packed every year. Um, I'm kind of waiting on Grand Theft Auto 6 to be like, hey, we're going to release February 13th and just see everything scatter.
Just ruin
Um,
Valentine's Day for everyone.
yes, so many women are just going to be like alone watching some movie. But Dragon's Dogma 2 is coming to PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox. There's some really cool stuff. So one of the key features in Dragon's Dogma is it's like this action role playing game where you kind of learn combos and abilities. So you gotta do button presses like Devil May Cry, but it's an open world game where you can like climb these giant monsters and kill them to get their pieces to make stronger armor.
Mm-hmm.
But they have this what is I can't remember the exact name for it, but you had an assistant basically at all times who would just follow you around, and then you can get other people's assistants from online and like have them join your party. But they've kind of like updated that a bit to where now they do stronger magics. They're a little bit like smarter AI. But if you pick one that has like, let's say you pick an elvish one and you play as a human, they will translate when you run into elves for you because elvish will only speak like their natural tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to like pick from other people's sidekicks. Like, oh, I'm going to go to a goblin camp, so I need someone who could speak goblin. So let me go find someone who does that, recruit them from offline, and use them. So I'm pretty excited about everything they've announced for it. I mean, Dragon's Dogma 1 was such an excellent game. You can kind of go back and replay it now, which you can because it's on PS Plus for free right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a great little Shadow of the Colossus meets Monster Hunter meets Devil May Cry type game.
Yeah, and it seems like a great way to build the community, like you were talking about with everybody's different skills.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Um,
sounds cool.
yeah, very excited about that one. Next year is gonna. I mean, 2023 has effed so hard. I don't know how 2024 is gonna keep up, but we
You
shall
know,
see.
we're gonna take a break sometime. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to take a break. It's all right. So, all right. We had a hardware release while we were off, and the PlayStation Portal has been released, and surprisingly, or at least surprisingly to me, a lot of people kind of like it, which I think the press itself is kind of surprised by. I think the
Yeah.
the press, like every gaming news outlet, was like, this thing, like, who wants this? This is stupid. Nobody wants this.
Mm.
This, I don't. Who cares? And then it released, and then they had to review it, and they were like, well, I mean, I didn't ask for it, but it's pretty nice. like,
Yeah.
so, for those of you who don't know what the PlayStation Portal is, it's essentially a wireless portable monitor. It's a PlayStation Switch, except it's not running anything. It is streaming it. You have to already own a PlayStation 5 to use it. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, Phil, like seeing some of these positive reviews, have they swayed you any particular way? Do you need a
I
PlayStation Portal? Are you their market? What is this? What is this to you?
I definitely don't need one, but it does look cool. If I had a lot of expendable income, I would get one.
Sure.
Like I'm trying to think of what if I already had an electric car,
Mhm.
this is something I would purchase. I saw some footage of someone on IGN playing Spider-Man on a plane earlier today, on this thing, which is pretty crazy to me that the Wi-Fi signal is that strong. Because I that's the thing that I've worried the most about is the Wi-Fi like connectiveness and just the PlayStation's ability to upload at a decent rate.
Have you used Remote Play? for extended
Oh,
periods of time?
not for long at all.
No. I've used it periodically. I have like one of those controllers that turns your phone into, a gaming pad. Um,
Mm.
and so I've used remote play quite a bit, and I would say anything that is not online works great.
Okay.
So like if you want to play Spider-Man, if you want to play God of War, if you want to play Horizon, if you want to play like just anything that is not online, that is a single player
Mm.
experience, I think that it works remarkably. When
Mm.
you add that online component, I think there is that second delay that you kind of need. So is like,
Yeah.
is this the thing you want to be playing Modern Warfare 3 on? Maybe, probably not. Like,
I feel like this would be great for Baldur's Gate. Like,
oh yeah, I have a friend who's specifically got one of these, and he's been using it for Baldur's Gate, where him and his wife will be in the living room, she's watching one of her shows, and then he's playing Baldur's Gate next to her on the
yeah.
couch. And so, like, that is what he's been. He loves it. That's what he's been. And like, you know, people who like share the TV and whatnot, or just want to be next to. I get it. Like, I kind of want one.
Mm.
You know.
It's I've heard it's like it's the accessory for dads pretty much when it's just like you're there but you have everyone else watching something and you're doing your own thing.
Hmm.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty amazing that it is like working so well. And like I don't know, the dual sense like kind of built into the sides of it. It's great. I think in most cases I would rather just have a Steam Deck or
Sure.
a ROG Ally. But this is really cool if you like only have a PlayStation 5 and you're looking for something that you can, make it more portable. So,
Yeah, I mean, definitely like Steam Deck, and all of the other handhelds. It's completely better hardware, but there's not a
mm,
lot of hardware in the Portal, to be honest. I guess the big thing is the how inexpensive it is. It's $200 versus like getting a decent gaming handheld is probably north of $800. Um,
damn, that is the exact right price point. $200 for this thing. That's like that pulls me around a little bit. It's like,
it's two hundred
yeah,
dollars. It's not that much. It's less than half of a PlayStation 5. So
that's just a tad more than the like the fancy controller that they have, or
yeah,
the Pro controller.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm pretty curious. Like again, it's not something that I particularly need, but like I only have one PlayStation 5, and so it would be nice to be like, oh, I'm gonna go and like I have a little uh patio area in the back of my house. I can sit outside, like and use it, or I can play it in
Mm.
bed. That'd be fun. So
I do like the idea that Sony has brought us like both VR, an updated VR,
yeah.
to the PlayStation 5, and now a portable option for it. I like that they're kind of going all in on, or not, they're going more in on hardware than any of the other companies, it seems like. So,
Yeah,
good for them.
and at least they keep releasing stuff, putting stuff out. So,
Yeah.
um, all right, last news topic. You want to take it, Phil? I
Sure. I'm famously a big COD
Yeah,
fan.
yeah.
I
I
love these.
figured this was for you, your specialty.
I
Um,
love these games. I love calling some duty. Um, So yeah, Call of Duty, the 2024 edition will be a Black Ops game, which I know that's sort of the rotation, right? It's like Black Ops kind of pops in every couple of or every like other year or year after that to sort of be a little bit more of a grounded adventure. Is that the case with Black Ops?
I mean, the time period is different. So, like,
Oh, the time period. Okay.
yeah. So I think the with this Black Ops for next year's game, they're going for like the 90s, something
Mm.
like that. But before, it's been in the 80s. I think it might have started in the 70s. Um, so here's my thing with this is like, why are we still doing Black Ops? Why are we still
Mm-hmm.
doing Modern Warfare? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
guys, I understand that it's a franchise. That's why Call of Duty is on the front of it.
Exactly.
The subtitle needs to be something new, or just do new trilogies, or like everybody knows, just call it Call of
Black
Duty.
Ops.
No, just call it Call of Duty
Yeah.
2024, and then call it
Yeah.
Call of Duty 2025. Like, just call it what it is. Just like,
Call of Duty 2K
yeah,
24.
just
I I I feel like they should do is like make, you know, just even drop Call of Duty and do Modern Warfare, Black Ops. And then when they want to release like a prestige game, they do Call of Duty something different. But it's weird. There's these sort of warring franchises, are like, I guess, mini meta franchises within a franchise are like, all right, your turn. All right, your turn. Oh, this one wasn't that popular. Let's do this one. Since we were on our break, they released like the full version of Call of Duty, right? The most recent one.
Modern
I know it
Warfare
has not
3.
gotten the most positive press.
Yeah, but people are still playing it. People are still
Yeah.
playing it. So, and I think you're getting kind of a resurgence of players who it's like, this isn't a battle royale game. I can respawn, and people are like,
Yeah.
oh, that feels good. I forgot what that was like. And
Mm.
so I think it does have some popularity and whatnot. And I haven't heard great things about the campaign, but it looks good. It's Call of Duty
Yeah.
2023, and that's what it is. And
Mm.
just call it what it is, guys. That's all I have to say. I don't know.
I mean, it does partially feel like a subscription service because they update the battle royale version of that to include all the new stuff every year.
Right.
So it feels like you're paying $60 if you're one of those players to continue playing that. The multiplayer, kind of like the previous year's edition, typically just kind of falls off a cliff, and they're like, "Hey, we're supporting the new one now. Get on the train or play with all these hackers." Uh,
Yeah. It's yeah. I don't know. It's a wildly popular game. They're gonna keep charging up the wazoo because people are gonna pay for it. Because it's
my biggest beef with these games though is they do not hide the file size at all. Like they're like, "It's 200 gigs. Eat it."
yeah. I think a lot of the really popular, like 2K, I think is a great example of this. I think 2K is like almost 130 gigs. Like, why?
Ooh.
Where is that going? Why is God of War, you know, less space than 2K?
Optimizing.
Optimize your game. Like, anyway.
Oh,
So yeah, 200 gigs for Modern Warfare. That's crazy. I did not know that.
that hurts.
All right.
Um,
Uh, that is it for our news topics this
mm,
week. And so we just there wasn't really a lot of big news stories that came out over Thanksgiving. And
mm,
so everything on every gaming site that Phil and I have seen has just been deals, deals, deals.
mm,
And it has been IGN advertising deals, and GameSpot advertising deals, and Polygon advertising deals,
mm,
and everything. And so I know that I mentioned earlier, I picked up Assassin's Creed Mirage. I also picked up a couple of other games on the Black Friday sale. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through and just recommend some things that if you have not bought already, are really cheap during
yeah.
holiday sales, either on Steam, on PSN, on the Xbox store. Pretty much everywhere, every store does the same thing nowadays, where they will just do this big holiday sale and they'll just leave it open, and it's not as time restrictive as it used to be. So
The Black Friday starts like on a Tuesday now, and Cyber Monday starts on Saturday. So it's absolutely bananas, but we are all winning now because there's lots of great games that we can play.
absolutely, absolutely, there is. So first off on my list, one of the other games I bought next to Assassin's Creed Mirage was called The Pathless. Have you heard of this game, Phil?
Is that the game where you're like an archer being led around by a bird?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So I think it came out close to when the PlayStation 5 came out. It's
Hmm.
kind of a journey-esque game. You're an archer. I think the most unique thing it does about it is its movement. And I think especially after playing Spider-Man, um, and like really loving Spider-Man's movement, it's like, oh, here's another game with a great movement system. And the haptics also feel really good with it on PlayStation. So I believe I got that game. I think it's usually $40, and I think I got it for 15. So
That's excellent.
the Pathless would recommend. Um, definitely a good deal on the PlayStation Store. Do you have any games you want to mention that you'd recommend,
Here
Phil?
is a big
A
one.
big one.
Although it is the Assassin's Creed game that knocked me off of I think this is the one I didn't finish, but Assassin's Creed Syndicate is free on the Ubisoft store right now. It's you can just
Wow.
go download it,
It just
play it for free.
straight up doesn't cost you anything.
It costs you probably your email to the Ubisoft store will have.
Right. And then they'll get hacked
Um,
and then they'll sell it anway as well. Great.
yeah, they'll get hacked when really they're selling it to Iranian data miners.
Yes. Yeah.
But I mean, that feels like that's almost like a like Epic Game Store or PlayStation. They have the free games weekly.
Right.
So a recent game that you can get for relatively on the cheap, Alan Wake 2 from Green Man Gaming, is running at $41.49, which is I think it's only a $50 game because it's like another single player, but that's just a great one because it came out so quickly and it has got so much Game of the Year buzz
Yeah.
that it feels like
I mean
if
that
you're looking for something.
any Game of the Year nominee that's on sale, like doesn't matter what it's on sale for, like that's a good deal. So
Yeah.
that's incredible. Another one I wanted to mention was an oldie but a goodie, but Ghosts of Tsushima is on
Mm.
sale on the PlayStation Store still. I don't believe it's a Black Friday sale anymore. I think it's moved and shifted to the end of the year sale, which should be going until January. But you
Mm.
can get the Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut for PS5, I believe. I think it's almost like 60% off. So it's like maybe $29, something like
That's
that.
such a good deal for a pretty amazing game.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot of content for that money, and then there's the multiplayer as well, which has always been free to play. Uh, so yeah,
oh yeah.
yeah,
Uh, Another one on my list here. Um, this a lot of stuff I'm looking at is like PC and just sort of the usual suspects. But Dave the Diver is 1659 on Green Man Gaming, which is, from what I hear, that is like the indie darling of the year.
yes,
Uh,
heavily
yeah,
recommend. Heavily recommend. My girlfriend played Dave the Diver. Um, I played Dave the Diver. I loved it. Great game. Heavily recommend. Totally worth the money. Absolutely.
and then additionally, Sonic Frontiers, the digital deluxe edition, is only $23.92, which I feel like for me it's more of a curiosity. Sonic Frontiers, like I've heard it was actually pretty good,
Mhm.
and for a Sonic game, that's like a masterpiece. So if you love the blue blur,
Yeah,
this is your option to get in, and if it is a real stinker, to not feel too guilty about blowing $60 or $70 on it.
sure. Okay. All right. Well, those are some good suggestions. I know that
Yeah.
the Steam sale has ended, but I know that they're going to whip up their Christmas sale, and it's going to go back to being, sold again, or being everything
Yeah,
on
like
sale again.
in 3 days.
In 3 days,
they'll,
we're just taking a small respite. Um,
mhm.
so, or I know for me, I've like already committed. Like my Christmas game is going to be Baldur's Gate. Um,
Mm.
so are there any games that have come out earlier this year that you've kind of held off on, that you think will be Christmas games for you?
There are okay, so I need to replay Baldur's Gate. So that's one that I'm probably
You
gonna.
just beat it, and you're like, I need to replay it though, like
I need
immediately.
to see some different things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Try some different romances.
Ooh,
But uh, let's see. What is it? I think I am gonna finish Assassin's Creed. That's That's like I got to do it. Committed. Um, and there's so many Steam games that I have that I like just started and haven't finished. Um, okay, hold on. I feel like I've got like a couple that I've. Dead
Ooh.
Space. I'm gonna do Dead Space this holiday.
Oh,
That's what
the
it is.
remake?
The remake.
Right on. Yeah, that's a
Um,
good choice.
if I finish that in good time, then Lies of P,
Mm.
and I will not finish both of those.
I mean, yeah, I think all Baldur's Gate's going to take up all of my time. So I don't know if I'm going to have time for anything else. Yeah, glad Space Marine 2 got delayed until next year. Knew it was going to happen, but now I don't have to be tempted with that. So
It looks so good though.
yeah, I'm very excited because it feels like an old school like Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 game. And I feel
Mm.
like some people have like forgot what those games are like, you know. Um, so yeah, very excited about that. Um, yeah.
It feels weird that there have like God of War is one, but there haven't been like a ton of third person like big budget games in the past couple years. Like nothing that you really like think of. I feel like that's like, oh, I need to write home about this. Um, especially like third person action. There was a couple that tried to like hit that spot that Gears of War was in,
Right.
but nothing's really done it. And I think that Space Marine could.
Oh yeah. I mean, just get that visceral. Like, I mean, I would say Doom would probably be the only one.
Mm.
But Doom was,
But that's like first person.
yeah, it's first person, and Doom has always been Doom. They didn't borrow anything from Gears of War. So yeah. All right. So next week, uh, the Game Awards is going to happen, and
Mm.
usually we record our show earlier in the. I believe the Game Awards are on the 7th. I
The
want to,
7th, yeah, it's a Friday, I believe.
or that's a Thursday, I think.
Thursday. It's a Thursday.
My God. Um, so we'll see. We might be doing something live for that, or we'll probably do our own Game Awards show by ourselves. But
Mm.
yeah, we're looking forward to the Game Awards. We're sure there's going to be lots of trailers, like we were just talking about, and some more
Mm.
gaming news and gaming news momentum to carry us into the next year while we enjoy the
Mm.
holidays. So yeah,
What's your money on we're us seeing the God of or Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer at the Game Awards?
I mean, I think it's always a dangerous gamble to bet on Grand Theft Auto, but I think because Rockstar specifically said that they're going to say something, um, like you want a percentage, like that's what you want. You want,
Give me a percentage.
oh man, I'll get.
I'm gonna solid 30% that they will do something there because I think they have enough ego to be like, we're gonna do our own thing on like Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know. I think that really the Game Awards, the last couple of years, they've had like big hitters, like where they
Hmm.
like 2 years ago they brought out Elden Ring, and they were like,
Mm.
it's coming next year, and they had a huge Elden Ring prop. Like I feel like with how big the Game Awards have gotten, they need to
Mm.
have like a headline announcement. And so
True.
I'm going to go higher than that. I'm going to say
Okay.
55% chance of
50. I like that.
55% chance that, and by something, like it's probably going to be a freaking logo, and that's what we're going to see, and like some like cool music.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it'll be there. I think it'll be there with how transparent they've been over the last couple months. So
I I will say in your favor, I think that like Keeley getting interrupted at the Game Awards or at one of his other events
mhm.
made him probably like, hey, listen, I'll pay whatever I gotta pay to get you guys on my stage just to show that little twerp who was right.
It's like we're gonna tell him where it is. I'm getting answers for this guy. Oh man.
Unless that guy was paid for by 2K Studios or who owns
Take Two.
Imagine if that was like Take Two. If that was viral marketing.
It could have been. Yeah.
Why they would need it, I have no idea.
Or in the presentation, they hire a guy to reenact that guy, and then he does the reveal.
Or they hire that exact same guy.
Oh man, nah, man, screw that guy. He's rude.
Yeah, what a dink.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for this week. Thank you for joining us. I know we have been off for Thanksgiving, and I know I've been slow on uploading the videos because of my computer. I've had a lot of technical problems that I've had to work around. That's made just everything more difficult than it needs to be.
Gremlins, man.
Yeah, it's the gremlins. So, but be sure, if you enjoyed this podcast and like our other podcasts, please drop us a like, click that subscribe button. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Google Podcasts. Do your thing. Leave us a positive review on Spotify. We really appreciate that. But yeah, I had a great time talking to you this week, Phil. Glad we both had good Thanksgivings.
Yeah, same here. Thanks for putting this thing together.
Absolutely. I don't know where that came from. I don't know what impression that was.
It felt like Owen Wilson and Ted Lasso put together, and I'm really here for it.
Okay. I think I was towards the very end of it, I was like hinting at Jennifer Coolidge.
Okay.
But maybe I just missed the White Lotus show on HBO too much.